Hello, everybody. Thank you for checking out the Terrific Talk podcast. Here's a little taste of what's in store for today. Take a listen. He was on fire in that game. I also love when Romo, there's a challenge, and he goes, I don't know, Jim.
I know.
Jim, what do you think?
I know. I find him entertaining in the booth.
I can't wait for that in the Super Bowl.
Really? Yeah.
I don't know, Steve. Much more of Making Fun of Tony Romo coming up. But first, the greatest intro music of all time.
Welcome to Terrific Talk. My name is Tom Anderson. Tom Anderson.
Back to him, back to Dave Gone. Back, gone. Tom
Anderson.
Great cash, homie. Great cash, homie.
I feel ready to go another 9 innings.
Touchdown.
I feel ready to go another 9 innings.
Touchdown.
Today, I consider myself the luckiest man on the face of the earth. Terrific Talk Podcast. Welcome back, Terrific Talk Podcast.
Here comes the home.
I'm your host, Tom Anderson.
First, behind the bag. It gets through Buckner. Here comes Knight, and the Mets win it. Back.
Terrific.
Steve-O,
What's up, bro?
how are you?
Good, man. Good. Chilling in Valencia, California. Nice 65, 70 degree sunny day. What about you? I've been hearing some horror stories.
Yeah, it's not been good. I'm in a bad mood, to say the least. It's been like negative 10 degrees here the last couple days.
Just brutal, man.
Tomorrow it's supposed to be, I think, in the 50s, but raining.
Oh, of course.
Tori told me that, and I was like, I just didn't want to hear it. I'm just so negative and cold right now. I can't even think about it.
Yeah, I mean, I got a photo from my mom. She was in the car driving to work. 5 degrees on the thermometer. On the degree reader. I was like, oh boy. I didn't want to send her mine because I just felt bad. But I do actually have my mom and my sister and my 2 little nephews coming out to visit, so they're going to get some relief for a couple days.
Good for them. I almost died on Monday. I was waiting for the bus outside, and I almost died.
One of those where you can't even take your hands out of your pockets, and
No.
you can have them still in gloves, but if they touch air, it feels like they're going to fall off.
It was Martin Luther King Day, and I didn't realize that the bus was on a holiday schedule.
Oh no!
So I was out there just waiting. Where's the bus? I was panicking. I was like, this is it. I'm gonna die.
Yeah, I'm not making it.
It was bad. I got a new pet peeve. I gotta share this with you.
Yes.
How's your Instagram page?
Dude, it's killer.
Oh man,
I actually already got blue check.
Wow.
Certified. No, I'm just kidding.
You're official. So I want to get your take on this. How do you feel about posting Instagram happy birthday for your baby, your 1-2-year-old?
Mm-hmm.
How do you happy birthday to so and so? You're the best thing that ever happened to me. How do you feel about that?
That's the one that I often kind of just chuckle at. These grand posts. If they're going to post some photos of the kids smashing their face in cake, yeah, all right, that's I'll be down to see a kid or two. I know that seeing kids on social media is not your thing, but if then all of a sudden it's it's basically how the kid cured cancer at the age of 2. I'm kind of all right, we're taking it a little too far here, people.
The kid is never. First of all, the kid can't read this post or see the post, so you're addressing it to them, and they can't see it. Are we thinking somewhere down the line, when the kid's older, they're gonna go and be able to see this post? Is that supposed to be the special thing? I don't understand it.
Imagine this, when the kid actually gets a Facebook it, and if it's that parent that does that, they're definitely going to go back through all of their previous posts and tag the kid in it.
God.
So the kids on this day, when they turn 20, is going to include 20 years worth of amazing memories of things that they did, curing cancer and ridding the world of hunger and creating world peace. And they hadn't even barely gotten to college yet.
It's amazing.
Yep, it's amazing.
I don't know. I just don't get it. I don't get it.
Yeah, it's the social media world, man. Everybody, the image that's put out there is perfect. So, what better way to continue that?
Another reason why I'm kind of just cranky. It's just a lot of tough things right now.
But I mean, everyone can tell that we're just huge social media proponents on this pod.
All about it. Terrific Talk Tom on Instagram and Twitter. Good stuff. Follow Steve on Facebook.
Let's go. Why are you another? Why are you still in bad mood? What's the next thing?
Another problem. I think Scott Van Pelt broke into my apartment.
No.
He heard we were coming for him. This weekend I broke my glasses.
Man, he's out to get us.
It had to be him.
He sent the muscle, dude. He sent Rosillo.
Yeah, the doors were broken into. It was crazy. So thank God I got a backup pair for Warby Parker.
Warby.
They hooked me up, but
one of the sponsors.
They're silver framed. I'm not really sure how I feel about it. I've gotten mixed reviews from people. It's been a tough week.
Tom's going to put a post up of him and his silver framed Warby Parkers. Everyone, please go on. Give him your feedback.
I'm going to do that.
Let's be honest. Let's be honest with us. And don't worry, people. We're not afraid.
I'm a little afraid.
Keep breaking glasses. We're going to keep coming.
Yeah, my happy birthday to your baby. What do you think of these glasses? That's the post. So what's been going on with you? What's new? Anything? Give us some positive vibes here.
Positive vibes. Let me think. Well, we've talked about my dog a bunch. She's been pretty good, except for recently she just is. Well, there's a bunch of stray cats in our neighborhood, and I guess maybe they know that we have a dog, so they come in at night and take a dump in the front lawn, and then we let Lucy out like either late at night or early in the morning to pee quick, doing stuff. And Lucy now in the last week has eaten some cat poop twice.
Oh no!
It's like wonderful. I'm at the dog park the other day discussing my dog eating cat poop out of the front lawn, and some woman's like, "Oh well, cats' dietary needs or just their diet in general is higher in protein. So I think a lot of dogs eat cat poop thinking that it's food." I'm like, oh god damn it.
That's not true.
I don't know. Things you learn at the dog park, huh? Hashtag.
That is a made up fact. We'll keep going.
So, that's been fun, the last, week or so. But, I think the point being is we need to somehow figure out a deterrent that we can throw in the front yard so that these cats stop just cruising through and dropping trout,
Maybe have Erin stand out there and throw rocks at the cats.
Yeah. The problem is she loves animals. Maybe she could flex at them now. Maybe that would scare them. She has a great line that she has said in the past, which I'll tell that story another time, and she can repeat that phrase. But yeah, I mean, aside from that, dude, we actually had a lot of rain last week. The funny thing is, we talked when I was in Portland, and there was no rain in Portland, but it poured in LA the entire time I was there. But since then, it's been great weather. No real complaints on my end. Like I said, my sister, my mom, my two little nephews are coming to visit for a couple days this weekend, so it'll be fun to have some people on the West Coast, and just living the dream, man.
Are you going to take them to the Bird Box house?
I don't know if they'd get it. My mom and my sister definitely didn't watch that. That actually would be interesting. I don't really know what we're going to do with them yet. Funny thing is it's my sister who's a year older than me. She has the two boys. One's going to be 3 next month. One will be a year and a half. And the 1.5-year-old loves dogs. Is probably going to torment Lucy.
Perfect.
Chase her around. The older one, Andrew, petrified of dogs. So it'll be a funny weekend.
Maybe have them look out for the cats.
Yeah, send them. Speaking of, how about that brewery that I was at last week, Base Camp, with just the beer that should be sponsoring you in life.
Send it.
My
favorite saying in the world.
Yep, Base Camp Brewing Company. If anyone's ever in Portland, they make a great s'mores beer with a roasted marshmallow on the rim of the glass.
Ooh.
Awesome stout. Highly recommend it.
You see Anne Hathaway says she's going to give up drinking for the next 18 years?
Anne Hathaway?
Yeah.
Why is that?
She said she was showing up places hungover. She's got a kid. She says, I'm giving up till my kid can drink.
Wow. Is the kid 3?
I think the kid's like 2.
So that would be illegal then, Ann. If you started in 18 years when the kid is 20, the kid needs to be 21. Found a flaw in her logic already.
Do you think she makes it?
No, 0 chance.
I don't think she makes it either.
0 chance.
Speaking of celebrities drinking, did you see Darren McFadden?
What did he do? No, I haven't seen anything, dude.
He got.
I think I've been in like a bubble.
He's a former NFL running back. He got arrested for falling asleep in a fast food drive-through lane.
Oh my dear God!
DUI.
Come on, Darren. Get your shit together.
How bad is that? At a Whataburger? What do they call it?
Whataburger, yeah.
What a mistake.
Definitely not as good, though, as the video that you shared earlier, which I actually watched live happening. The dance-off in Philly.
Oh, my God.
How magical. I was watching that live in my living room and just giggling.
That was an incredible competition. I think the fat kid won, though. He won me over.
He started with the shirt off. You got to give the man mad props for that.
Such a Philly fan. Any Netflix watching out of you? Because what'd you got?
I started at Bodyguard. Episode 1 last night. Strong, dude. And it's like 6 episodes, so it's going to be a breeze. I'll have it done by like Friday at the latest.
It's easy. King of the North.
The King of the North. I've actually, like, on the sly, watched a couple of season 1 Game of Thrones just because I just need to get back into it. Oh, my God. I got to get back in, dude. I got to get back in.
On the iPad?
iPad, yep. I was doing it. So last week I had nearly a 3-hour layover in San Fran, so I hammered out a couple episodes there.
Smart.
Which was good. But yeah, that's been good. We're big fans of True Detective, so that's back up and running. Episode 3 just aired on Sunday night.
You like it so far? I want to check it out.
Have you seen the first 2 seasons?
Yeah,
dude. It's so like 1 obviously is just legendary, right? McConaughey puts on just this incredible performance. 2, I mean, while it was good, 1 definitely trumped it. I would say 3 is shaping up that it's going to be better than 2. Don't know if it can. I don't think it can touch 1, but Mahershala Ali, dude, just a stud.
I like him in everything. He's solid.
Yeah, he's great. He's great in everything.
You got to watch this festival documentary.
We watched the preview of it the other night, and I think it was like Sunday nights we were about to watch True Detective, but Aaron was like, ooh, this actually looks really good. So we'll probably watch that at some point this week, maybe tonight or tomorrow night.
All right, we'll talk about that on the pod next week because I got some thoughts. It was crazy. Also watching You. You need to watch You.
Dude, so it's funny. We were talking about that, and so like of this insane group chat that I have with Chris K, Centro, my boy Jeff, who you've met, and then it's a bunch of Chris K's friends on the West Coast that, I literally have some of these guys I've met like twice in my entire life, and they know more about me than my parents do, right? It's insane because we've had this group chat going now probably for like 2019, maybe 6 or 7 years.
Wow.
And Centro actually messaged us the screenshot of it and said, "This is Jeff." So like we have a joke. We have a joke that Jeff is like a psycho, like with girls, and so then he started like taking screenshots of the guy and putting them next to Jeff, and everyone was just ripping on him. But is it actually a good show? I mean, I thought of it as a joke, but obviously it is a legit program.
It's pretty good. The writing's pretty good. It's well acted. I'm a closet Gossip Girl fan.
Ah, look at you.
I love Gossip Girl. I'm not afraid to say it.
Never saw one episode of that ever.
I mean, it's all right. It's my jam though. But one of the main guys from Gossip Girl is the guy from You.
So yeah, you're ended.
He's like playing like the same exact guy from Gossip Girl. So I'm all the way in.
Talk about being typecast, huh?
I have a guy at work who I like to mess with, and every day, like at 2:00, he leaves his desk. So he leaves his computer wide open. So I opened up Microsoft Word the other day, and I put in like huge font. I was like, why do I have all the same tendencies as the guy from You? People are walking around just seeing this on his computer. Like, what the hell? It's so good.
Guy You actually would probably be an amazing prankster in the work office, aren't you?
I get this kid all the time. He listens to the podcast, so he enjoys it.
Shout out, bro. It's all out of love.
You know who you are.
We won't say names.
I don't want to say your name because you are the guy from You, so I don't want to. I don't want to put you on blast like that.
Aaron and I did go and see Glass on Friday night.
Oh, M Night. How was that?
M Night. It was good, dude. Well, aside from the fact that we were at a movie tavern in Monrovia. So we were like Friday night. We don't feel like cooking, so we're gonna go get some dinner, watch a movie. We actually saw Split. So Aaron and I, our first date, which this was mentioned at the wedding, our first date was February 15th in 2008.
Yep.
I had a double block class on the 14th, and we weren't really dating at that point, but like a couple of my college teammates were giving me grief, like, dude, you've been talking to her for like 3 weeks or 4 weeks, you should take her out. Like, what are you doing? Blah, 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 blah. So I was like, well, I can't. Like, on the 14th, I literally have class from 5 to 11 or whatever it ended up being. So, like, we went out the next night, but that now has become, like, our theme that we go out. We don't go out on Valentine's Day. We go out on the 15th and go to the movies.
Yeah. So
we saw Split as one of our Valentine's Day movies, like, 3 years ago.
Jesus.
So, like, yeah, no. Dude, our first movie that we saw together was No Country for Old Men.
Oh, my God. Intense.
And I'm actually annoyed. Like, I can actually clear the air on this now. Like, at our wedding, during the homily, my dad's cousin is a Catholic priest. He said the mass. He's like talking about this, this whole dating thing, how we started dating, and how the fact that our first movie was No Country for Old Men, and that we were psycho, like whatever it was.
Right.
And then he's kind of like, "What movie did you see this year?" So like, this would have been 6 months prior, and I literally totally blanked on the spot. I couldn't think of it. We actually saw The Revenant that year. So we picked some gems, dude. But,
Nothing light with you guys.
Nah, we go heavy. So we saw Split. So of course we had to go see Glass, and it was good. It was typical M Night. He keeps you in suspense. He made his appearance, which was good. I pointed him out, but now the kicker of it all though was so we go to this movie tavern and there are assigned seats because you get served and everything, and we're at the counter getting tickets, and the theater's pretty packed, but like there was a couple seats that we maybe could have gotten in like the third or fourth row, and Aaron's like, well, no one's in the second row, let's just sit there. And I was like, dude, like the screen is going to be like right there. She's like, no, it's fine. Literally we get in the seat, we had to just look straight up in the air. So like it was so hard to like take in. I mean, like I feel like you adjust to that stuff as you watch, but like at first I was kind of like, I'm not even going to be able to my brain isn't even going to be able to process what's going on right now. But aside
distracting.
from that, but it all worked out. Very, very much worth the watch, I would say.
All right, I'll go check that out. Tuesdays, great deals in Hoboken, half price.
Oh yeah, dude, half price of bow tie.
I gotta say, the bow tie popcorn, little salty lately.
It is salty. As long as it's buttery, Aaron was good with it. The other thing with a Tuesday is if you go to the beer garden and you pay cash, it's half price there too.
Is that true?
Fun fact.
Interesting.
Yes. So you can like put up a little date, you and Tor, hit the beer garden, get a stein or two, half price, and then hit the movie theater, half price.
Sounds like a plan. I think it's time at this point in the podcast to pour one out for the TD Monster.
Oh, dude. I know that was a tough ending. We had a long discussion about it last week. We continued that via text for several days about going against the GOAT, but the fact that we were all in on the TD Monster. I think the simple fact that he put up the fight that he put up in the second, he didn't get off to a great start.
No, awful start.
I mean, the Patriots start the game off with an 8+ minute drive, so they consumed half of the first quarter in their first drive alone.
Which, by the way, your boy Andy Reid, I know everyone likes to defer, but I feel like that was not a good play by him.
I know. I don't think it was either. Knowing that you have the GOAT coming into your stadium, like imagine how, like not saying that crowd doesn't get jacked up, but imagine if they took the ball first and scored, how insane that place would have been going.
I know.
Talk about hostile environment, it would have been chaos. But, I'm happy with the fact that he fought back in that second half, got him into. I mean, because you've seen that script time and time again. The Patriots jump out to 14-0 lead, or whatever it ended up being, and the teams are just done. Like the game's over.
Yeah.
So for them to fight back,
it was incredible.
It It was a fun game.
That was one of the best games I've ever watched in the second half.
Yeah.
Just back and forth, nonstop.
Yeah.
Like, so much tension, so many reviewable plays that could have gone either way. It was intense. It was fun.
Yeah, and it was cool to see someone kind of match Brady to a certain degree. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like in the second half. Like, obviously, it's 2 quarters, but each time you knew it was going to be Brady just marching up the field. I mean, how much praise we gave the KC pass rush last week against Andrew Luck. Like, what happened?
I mean, D Ford, foot on the line. What are you doing?
The game's over.
The game is over, and that would have been Tom Brady's 3rd interception of the game. Like, no one remembers that. Like, that he would have lost the game on a 3rd pick of the game. He threw a pick from the 1 yard. Brady was incredible, but I mean, he could have had 3 interceptions in that game.
I mean, and I would say, like, incredible in the sense that, as always, like, he's a pinpoint with his passing, which, like, we talked about last week as well. Like, you knew he was going to get in that zone where literally you have a 2-inch window to get the ball into, and it's going to be there every time. And
every time.
I mean, that several throws to Julian over the middle, but again, no pressure.
Zero pressure. 3 3rd and 10s. Incredible.
3 3rd and 10s. Incredible. So, yeah, I mean, obviously it's going to be a lot of talk of Brady and everything he did right to put him in a position to win that game, marched right down the field. You know, obviously a couple rushing TDs, which could have been passing TDs, so that definitely affected his numbers. But at that point, you don't give a shit about the touchdown number. You care about the W.
Yep.
So, yeah, man, D4, dude. How, like, and the thing is, it's like, when you look at that, at the still shot afterwards, like, his whole hand is over where, like, they draw that imaginary line of scrimmage. Like, he is a good 3/4 of a yard offsides. Like, it's not even like it's close.
Just such a dumb mistake. And he's a veteran. He's like one of their best players.
Yeah.
Just idiotic. Just, oh my God. And then, of course, on that play, he throws the pick, you know?
Yep, I know.
Got to feel for him a little bit.
You do. I mean, I feel for Andy. I was pulling for Andy big time. Erin instantly already said that she doesn't even want to watch the Super Bowl because she can't watch the Patriots in the Super Bowl again.
I got to say, for whatever reason, after that game, it was nauseating seeing Tom Brady smile and, like, smirk like that. I'm usually I haven't been that, like, anti-Tom Brady in my life, but it was like, this is awful.
I mean, I respect the greatness, right? Like, he's the greatest quarterback we'll ever see play the game. But, you know, the whole fact that they're playing this, like, we're the underdogs, like, come on, man.
I'm also so over that he's the greatest of all time conversation.
He is.
Like, we get it. He's the best. That's great. That's great, Tom Brady. You've been the best for, like, 5 years.
Except when he plays Eli.
2 giant losses.
And Nick Foles.
I mean, maybe stay away from the NFC East. Just a suggestion.
Yeah, you know. Beast. The NFC Beasts. Let's go.
They have to change the coin flip overtime rule, right?
Have to. I know, have to. And, like, you know, you've seen a couple things like now all of a sudden, like if it was the other way in case he won, no one would care. Like, I've been saying they needed to change the overtime rule now for probably like 3 years. Like, why is it not the college rule? Like, one they want to talk about all the time, getting rid of the kickoff because it's so violent and it like can cause so many injuries and issues. Like, okay, don't kick off in overtime. Do it how college does it, and there's the solution.
Yep. It's just so idiotic. It makes it's just no reason. There's no reason to do it this way.
You played 16 regular season games. They've each played a playoff game. They're in the conference championship game, and it's tied at the end of the game, right? So, like, they're that evenly matched throughout the entire year. That you know, their regular season game was 43-40, one on a field goal at the end of the game, right?
Yep.
So they played now 2 games. They played 120 minutes of football, and they've been separated by 3 total points. And literally, it's what's going to decide it is a flip of a coin, is a lucky. Is the total luck instance.
Yep.
It's kind of just crazy to me.
Yeah, because if Kansas City wins that toss, there's no doubt they're going to go down and score a touchdown. Like those defenses were both just gassed.
Yeah, and so here, this should, or you do it this way, right? You play it that you can still have a coin flip, and just how they do it with field goal. Like if someone kicks a field goal, the other team has a chance to score a touchdown. Like. Even if they score a touchdown, the other team gets a chance to score a touchdown. If they don't score a touchdown, the game's over. If not, then maybe you make it next score wins. Or, you know, like, I don't know.
The other thing that's interesting is
take a look at it.
What if it's like a super windy day And you have the coin flip kind of decides which direction you go in.
Yeah.
Is that going to be considered unfair then? That, we have to go against the win because we lost the coin toss? It's another factor, I think. Should be considered.
Yeah, there's a lot of things that could go into that argument, for sure. If you're playing an afternoon game into a night game and it's like the sun's some of these are domes now, but like you're in a stadium where like the sun comes in, it's just like, oh yeah, you're going directly into the sun.
Right.
So like you can't see. I think the simple solution is make it like the college overtime. Like I don't know why it has to be that difficult.
And I don't think anyone's disagreeing with that. Like everyone thinks the coin flip thing is stupid. So
yeah,
hopefully they change that. Hopefully this happens again in the Super Bowl, and then people can really flip out again. And I'm sure the Patriots will win the toss.
Of course they will. It'll be a two-sided coin.
Yep. Hey, you know how I was complaining about the cold before? Here's an idea. This February, follow your favorite baseball teams to Arizona for Cactus League spring training. They've got amazing weather and landscapes, exciting outdoor adventure, incredible food. Arizona is the perfect home base for baseball fans. They've got 10 stadiums, 15 Major League Baseball teams. All 10 stadiums are in the greater Phoenix area within 50 miles. You can meet the players, get autographs before games. And you're in Arizona, why not go check off must-see destinations on your bucket list like the Grand Canyon, Monument Valley, Horseshoe Bend, and Tucson. Arizona is a fantastic destination for families with family-friendly resorts and hotels that offer plenty of fun for kids of all ages, from water parks to horseback rides to games and activities. Arizona has tons of stuff for kids to do and see. Wildlife parks, science museums, aquariums, dude ranches. Did I mention the 70-degree weather? Plan your spring training getaway at visitarizona.com/spring training. That's visitarizona.com/spring training. NFC, Saints get robbed, pass interference, everyone's talking about it. What did you think watching that?
I sent a text that if I was a Saints fan, I'd be livid for sure. But like part of me also, like I don't like the Saints. Just like more of a biased perspective. Like obviously like NFC East teams, we all have a rivalry. But like the Saints now had like beaten us 3 straight times in the playoffs, so I'm just like over them.
Yeah, it's fresh.
So I just was laughing.
Wow.
Yeah, I know. And but here's the thing, right? Here's the thing. Yes, that's a terrible call. That's a terrible no call. Probably, and I think I said it. I might have said it to you and Sally. I sent it to at least one of my group of friends I was texting. Probably for the situation, could be considered the worst no call in NFL history.
Yeah, that I can remember.
But why the hell is Sean Payton throwing the ball on first down?
That was idiotic.
Like, what is he doing?
I don't know.
Run the football once. Force him to take a timeout.
Of course.
Run the football twice. Force him to take a timeout. They're out of timeouts. Take a knee. Take it all the way down as far as you can go. Kick a field goal. Give him no time on the clock. With no timeouts. Like, what is he doing?
I don't know what he was thinking there. They do a lot of weird stuff in their goal line offense. A lot of Taysom Hill in it's been that way all season long, but especially in that game, they're bringing him in here. They're taking the ball out of Breeze's hand. It just didn't make any. Aikman said it on the broadcast. Is what everyone was thinking. What the hell? I think they were overthinking it a little bit. Sean Payton was overthinking everything.
I think that the fact that McVay is now thought of as this mastermind, part of me just wonders is Sean Payton in this instance trying to prove to everyone that he's just as good, or he was the originator, so don't mess with the OG. Like, they were just, I said it, I think Aaron might have been like in and out of the room, but I was like just out loud before even Aikman said it, like, why is Taysom Hill taking snaps at the 3-yard line when you have one of the best quarterbacks to do it in your backfield? One, but then again, it's just like to the point of Peyton, like so many instances where you just question what he's doing. Now you go to McVay, who is young and brash and definitely likes to take risks. And what does he do when it's 4th and goal to 2? He takes the guaranteed points, ties the game.
Yeah.
He could have easily have gone for the touchdown there. And guess what? If it was a regular season game, he probably would have. But I think he understood and appreciated the moment and knew, like, hey, listen, this could be, we may not get the ball back. God knows how the game's going to go. We just need to ensure that we have tied this thing up so that should we not and we somehow stop them, we get to play more football.
He made the right call, and also gutsy call with Greg Zuerlein to kick that game. The
57-yarder, dude. Holy smokes!
If he missed that, I mean, I guess it didn't matter. You got to go for it. But if he did miss it, the Saints are going to score.
Well, this could have been his thinking behind it, though. Like, you know what? In that instance, you punt the ball back to the Saints, and then you may not get the ball again.
Yeah.
Or, like, if you miss the kick, anyway, they're going to get the ball back. You probably won't see the ball again. So it's kind of like this is our opportunity to win the game. We've got arguably one of the best kickers in the league. Obviously, it's known as Greg the Leg. He's got the distance. I mean, that thing would have been good from 75 and halfway up the net.
Insane.
From 57.
Crushed it.
Killed that ball. So, I mean, very gutsy. But I think his gutsy moves were much more strategic and thought out. How can you think them out in the spur of the moment? But I just think they were a little more calculated. Where I think Sean Payton just was kind of gunslinging it. Where it's just like, dude, come on, think of the long term in an instant. Like you got to do it in an instant. But think of the long term effect of the fact that you're going to throw this ball on first and 10, first and goal, whatever it was. Stop the clock if it's an incompletion. Not force them to take a time. I was just like, what are they throwing? I was literally screaming at the TV. What? And I didn't even, no skin in the game. Just this is idiotic.
It is idiotic. End of the game, there should be one person on that sideline who handles the clock in those important minutes. Because everything is happening so fast. You always look over at the sideline, the coach kind of looks a little you can tell.
Yeah.
They look a little panicky.
Like a deep breath.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, and you're watching at home, and you're not even in that crazy Superdome, and it's like, oh man, what would I do here? You're kind of thinking about it. You need someone.
There needs to be someone that runs up to him. Yes.
Yeah, that's their job.
Run the football 3 times.
Exactly. So the pass interference play everyone's talking about.
Yeah, we didn't even get to that yet.
I mean,
it was really bad.
It was
really, really bad.
I mean, you just speared the guy. It wasn't even close.
Not only was it pass interference, how they've been calling it this year, that could have been a hit on a defenseless receiver
right.
as well.
Right.
It could have been a whole lot of things.
Of all years where that's not called, this is a wacky year for that to happen. And it was kind of fun that they were letting them play for the most part in that game, which I enjoyed. It's way better with the less flags, but that was just way over the top. Definitely interference, anything. Should a play like that be reviewable? Do we need to add that into the mix? I say they should be reviewable maybe from the fourth quarter on. You're against it? Because I don't want to slow the game down because there's already enough reviews, and that was already becoming a bit of an issue this season, slowing stuff down. But that is important play they need to get right.
So, you're telling me that you can review whether it should be pass interference or whether it should not be pass interference. So you're trying to tell me that almost every play, think about the amount of times that someone gets a hand on the hip and turn, and the ref is kind of blocked out and can't see it. So now all of a sudden you're going to go buzz in on all those plays.
Slippery slope.
It's a slippery slope, man.
Maybe coaches get one for the fourth quarter.
Maybe if they get one. Maybe if it's something like NBA rules where if it's in the last, 3 minutes a game, they can review the possession. It's just, it's a physical game, right? It is a physical game. It's the one thing that drives Erin crazy about football. She loves football. The one thing that drives her crazy about football is how they pick and choose to throw flags because you could call a penalty on every play. Hell, I can remember hearing something from I don't know who said it, whether it was a Pete Carroll interview or one of the Legion of Boom guys said it, and they basically Pete tells us to hold every play. They're not going to call a penalty every time. So his directive is push him, pull him, hold him, see what you can get away with.
Yeah, the Patriots do that all the time.
And why wouldn't you? They aren't going to call a penalty every play. I agree with that.
Smart.
But then all of a sudden, if you have that,
end of the game
it wouldn't surprise me because everything that they do protects offense, promotes offense. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I just think it becomes a slippery slope.
I wonder if
at this point, why even have official? Why even have referees?
Yeah, I know it's tough, but that's the kind of play is how are we letting this happen? It's the wrong team won, kind of at the end of the game.
Yeah,
kind of a problem.
It is. It definitely is a problem. Again, if I'm a Saints fan, I'm definitely probably singing a different tune, kind of being like a neutral, as unbiased as I can be. I would just have to see how they wrote it up. Like if it was just a last 2-minute thing, like obviously the last 2 minutes of the game, it's a booth review. But then is it going to start? Well, this happened at 2:05, right? So it wouldn't have been able to be reviewed anyway.
Yeah, they got to figure it out this winter.
It's going to be I'm sure a long topic of discussion, and I wouldn't be surprised to see a change. The one thing actually that I also would like to somehow see changed, because it's really been getting to me this year watching games, is these phantom spots of the football. There's how many times have you seen where it looks like a guy gets to the 35 pretty clearly, and they mark it at the 34.5, and then there's another time where it's he barely got to the 35 and the ball's at the 36.
Yep.
What am I watching?
That happens all the time, and I don't know how you can correct that. I feel like they should be able to. It's just hard because the ball's in the air. Use that tennis technology where they
have to be able
where
to.
the guy steps out. They should have sensors in tennis. That's.
I agree.
The stepping out thing that should already be taken care of.
Yeah, there should be sensors strategically positioned around the field.
Yeah.
Underneath that can kind of just get a read from the ball, and just kind of an infrared thing, even where it knows, okay, here we this is as far as it got, and it shouldn't be an instance where a review like that takes 10 minutes. We've discussed it before. Tennis, it's a 5-second process. You know what I mean?
It's so easy. I feel like the technology is there. They're just not using it. You're in California. Are there any LA Rams fans? What's the story?
There are definitely more people wearing Rams gear in the last 2 weeks than were in the previous 3.5 months.
Interesting.
I'll leave it at that. I know, our neighbor, I don't know when they put this up, but I've noticed that they've got now, the Rams flag on their car. Out of one of the windows, which, again, I don't remember seeing it all fall. Sorry, neighbor.
Sorry about that.
But, but then there's others, guy I work with, he's super juiced up. He's been a Rams fan forever. So, I think it kind of just, it just depends on who you are. It's definitely, not the diehard. I don't get the sense that it's the diehard passionate, rowdy crew that, an NFC East team would elicit, or, Pats, or even, hell, the Dumpster Fire Bills Mafia.
Dumpster Fire.
We had to get it in there. One of the last weeks talking NFL, you had to slide it in.
I feel like they were so close to making the Super Bowl. It's tough.
It's tough. Maybe next year.
2.5. 2.5 right now for the Pats over the Rams.
Is it 2? What did it start at 1?
I think it was around 1.
Yeah, at 1, in my head I would have been I would definitely take the Pats, only giving a point.
We'll give our real insight next week, I think, but.
What's your gut? Yeah, what's your gut thought?
My gut is I'm not picking against Tom Brady and Belichick ever again.
Yeah.
Ever again.
The only thing that I will say is Ndamukong Suh is starting to play some mean, vicious football.
He was great in that game, NFC.
Yeah, and Aaron Donald is a bad man, and Dante Fowler is who they got, right? Dante Fowler? If those guys can pressure Brady, he's a different quarterback. That again, zero pressure from the Chiefs, which we kind of said they needed pressure to put him off the spots.
I just don't understand how do they get that much pressure against Andrew Luck?
I don't know. Arguably over 16 games of football, the best line in the NFL, and they just demolish them, and now all of a sudden not even a pressure. Well, actually, no. There was one pressure, and it resulted in a roughing the passer on one of the worst roughing the passer penalties I've ever seen.
Nowhere near his head. That was horrible.
I could see that. That's the thing. This PI call. Does that get reviewed then too? Which of course that should be something where they can just quickly I don't even think the refs need to look at that. Like, have the control center already have it queued up and just buzz him down. Hey, he didn't hit his head. That's not a penalty. You know what I mean? Yeah. Or at the conclusion of a play, if it's that close, like have a control center that can just buzz in and say, we're taking an extra 10 seconds. And in that instance, like after the what should have been the PI, buzz the ref, hey, we're taking an extra 10 seconds. And then it's just like, hey, that was PI, and then just throw the flag.
Right.
Like, hey, we're going to take an extra 10 seconds at that Brady hit. Hey, he didn't hit him in the head at all. He whiffed on him. That's not a roughing the passer. Pull the flag. I think there could be things done, but, again, it's got to be timely. It can't
be fast.
These drawn-out things, man. You could have watched that in real time and known it wasn't, in both of those plays, right? You could watch those in real time and know that wasn't a penalty on Brady, that was a penalty on this guy. Like, why does it have to be a marathon? So, I think, it just, if they could somehow tune it to have it be, an instantaneous thing, I'm all about calls being right. But, again, it's just like, where's the line drawn where that comes into play? Because that Brady penalty didn't happen in the last 2 minutes, right?
No, it was earlier in the game. So that's the thing. Like, maybe you let that slide, but you know that people that they're gonna bitch if that just gets let slide. Is allowed to be let go versus the other one. So you can't win.
We said slippery slope, dude. Part of me is with you there too on back to the Super Bowl. Like, how can you go against Brady and Belichick? But
you make a good point with the pass rush. It's just I don't think anyone's going to stop the Patriots. Belichick's got the defense playing great. They're going to go after Goff. How about Gurley's no show?
Starting to roll again. Ooh, dude.
What happened there?
Right?
Well, that was weird.
That was really weird. But he had a drop pass led into an interception, another drop pass that would have led to a first down. A couple runs that he got stacked up, didn't amount to anything. I respect McVay making that executive and just being like, you know what? He's playing better football. You're not.
Great.
Get your head straight.
Coaches never do that, and
they never do.
It's idiotic, but it just makes sense. He's playing better in this one particular game. Let's ride CJ.
Yeah, and think about that, dude. CJ Anderson was not even on the roster. A month ago, 6 weeks ago.
Yeah.
Talk about a free agency ad of the year. The bowling ball.
He's so big.
He's a big boy. I would not want to be in front of him running downhill.
No thanks. I'm good. All right, so we'll get into our picks next week.
Yeah, Super Bowl. It's the beauty of having a 2-week break. We got plenty of time to get there.
What's your go-to food of choice during the Super Bowl?
Yes, that's really hard. I'm always like a wings guy, but I also like the several layer dip.
Ooh.
Especially if there's kind of like a meat cooked in at the bottom. I could smash that all day. But I'm also like a sugar guy, dude. So I like the dessert. So if someone brings out some fun, awesome dessert, I'm about that life.
Interesting. I'm more snacks than dessert guy.
Yeah.
You know what I love? I love Totino's pizza rolls.
Totino's are great, dude.
Oh my god.
But I like those all the time. Like Totino's pizza rolls or bagel bites. Like I'll just if I see them in the grocery store and I'm walking down the food aisle, I'm like, yeah, 9-pack of that looks good. I'll just smash that for a late afternoon snack.
Yep, I did that on Sunday.
Yep, it's brilliant.
So good.
Yeah, but like I said, the wings. I'm a sucker for wings and the 7-layer dip, dude. Can't beat that. Except for I do have. Erin always gives me a ton of grief. I don't like sour cream, but she's always kind of sour cream is built into all of those dips.
Yeah, it's a problem.
And you can't get around it. And I just but I feel when I just stir it all up and I don't see it, I just don't. It's out of sight, out of mind, and I just wolf stuff down. You know what I mean?
Way different.
Way different. Cream cheese as well. She always gives me grief. Cream cheese is in every buffalo chicken dip ever. Yeah, but it's all kind of mixed together, so I don't see it, so I'm fine with that.
So do you go butter on your bagel?
Yeah, dude. Butter or peanut butter.
Peanut butter on the bagel? Is that a thing?
Yeah, dude. Like a plain bagel or a sesame bagel with peanut butter? Killer.
Interesting.
Drizzle a little honey on top. I also like doing if like a plain or sesame bagel with butter, like sprinkle on top some cinnamon. Dynamite.
Got a question for you.
Go ahead.
What will happen first? Me eating more pizza rolls or Anne Hathaway having a drink?
I think it could be a tied situation because I think you're both going to have – I think you're going to have Totino's pizza rolls and Anne Hathaway's going to have alcohol while spectating the Super Bowl in 10 days.
We will we should keep an eye on that.
Tracker. Who can be on the inside there giving us actual reliable information on her alcohol consumption.
I think we could send Liebner to go.
Yes.
It could be like a you situation. He could be her stalker.
Leaves can be the front man. He wants to do her taxes, help her out, help her save some money.
I saw you ever see the movie The Accountant with Ben Affleck?
Ben Affleck. Yeah, dude, I saw it in theaters. That was great.
Liebner.
You think you're getting the accountant that has like this photographic memory about everything, and all of a sudden he's an assassin.
The dumpster fire bills drove him to become an assassin.
He just kept saying L, 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 L. I can't handle all these L's.
Just snapped. By the way, were you the fan who was putting the laser in Tom Brady's eye during the game?
I wish, no.
I could see you doing that.
I was the guy blowing the whistle.
That was awful, by the way, the freaking whistle guy. I was losing my mind. That was so freaking annoying. How is that allowed? Like,
there should definitely be certain things that they walk you through metal detectors. They kind of like pat you down a little bit, like a whistle and a laser pointer should be things that I think they should be able to pick up on.
It's amazing. Like, I got to walk through the thing like 3 times, and this guy's getting in with a laser pen. Like, how is this happening?
Crazy, dude.
Ugh. All right,
but diehard fans. They'll do anything for their teams.
That's fair, I guess.
Just like the diehard New Orleans Saints fan. Did you see this video yet? Where after Zerline kicked the field goal,
he punched the TV.
He just went up and mollywopped his TV and just shattered it in half.
I saw that. It's incredible.
And he's going on a cursing tirade, and then all you hear is like I don't know if his daughter or girl. Like I couldn't tell. Like I couldn't see his face, so I didn't know how old he was. But the girl that's with him is just like, but now we don't have a TV.
which, by the way, that's the reaction. Like, wouldn't you be like mortified? But he just smashes the TV with his hand. So
calmly too. Like,
I
just
know.
Kind of like didn't even say anything. Just bam, and then he's like, "F that, man!" Like so chill. I'm like, how can you do something that crazy and like literally just talk like you're like giving a presentation in class? Like no screaming, no yelling, just F that, man. I was like, what?
This bothers me, man. It's like, really?
Yeah, I know, that was amazing.
Oh my god!
Share that on your Instagram.
We'll share that. Amazing. Yeah, exactly. Also, by the way, Mike Francesa.
Oh my god, so good.
Radio god here in the New York area. Legitimately thought that Todd Gurley and the ref exchanged jerseys before the game.
You should never have another jersey, whether you exchange them with players before the game, which should be an outrageous thing to begin with. No way should an official be exchanging jerseys with a player before a game. That's such a bad thing to do.
Power of the internet, he believes everything, but still not as good as the fact that when he fell asleep during a call, when he had taken a caller, literally fell asleep snoring while a caller called it. Remember when I sent that to you?
It happened. It was incredible.